feel like we're at a stage where Hollywood is trying to just check boxes. They're trying to just be like, "Oh, Asian role? Ding, ding, ding. Check. LGBTQ? Check. Adopted? Check." Right? Like, they're just looking for different shit, and they're like, pretty soon we're just gonna have characters who are like, you know, uh, freaking, like, transgender, triracial, uh, you know, like, transgender, triracial, freaking, minority religion type people, right? And it's not for the sake of having an authentic storyline. It's for the sake of being like, oh, like LGBTQ representation, check, check, check. It's checking fucking boxes, and it's really pissing me off, to be honest. It feels like originally when this whole diverse brown wave and the diversity of Hollywood came to be, kind of in the early 20 or like in the mid 2010s. Why are we talking about the 2010s? It's literally been 7 years. Like it was good. It was good. Like, it was good. It was coming out with authentic storylines, and Hollywood was promoting those in a very unique way, and I appreciated that, right? So you had those diverse characters and storylines, but now you're just box checking, and it's forced. It feels more forced than actually authentic, and it's not the real thing. And I'm not even trying to call out particular shows in general. It's just like I've noticed this, right? I'm not saying Shang-Chi is bad. Shang-Chi is probably great, and it's good for the Asian. Like it must have been awesome for the Asian community to see like a superhero who's Asian. I'm sure, right? Eternals was pretty cool for the South Asians. Shout out, nail. But like, there's a hell of a lot of forced diversity roles now that we're in the society that we're in, and with every overcorrection of society comes an even greater overcorrection in Hollywood. It's just the fact it happens. We can't avoid it. It's right there. And I'm not saying like, listen, like let's go back to creating white roles all the time, white only, right? Like, no, what? Nah, not at all. I'm not trying to say that, but I don't know. Balance has to come. I'm sure it'll happen within the next few years. I'm sure we're just in a box checking phase right now for Hollywood. It'll all moderate at some point. But I guess the reason like this thought came about is because I've really started to see a lot of roles, a lot of Hollywood TV shows, and a lot of Hollywood movies just try to check boxes for the sake of like looking good in the mass media and critics, boosting their ratings points like 20%. That also happens, dude. Like you look at a movie with like significant minority representation or significant LGBTQIA plus representation, it's automatically like 30% higher than like a regular movie, you know, with maybe a similar plot line. It's ridiculous. It's like, are we really just gonna hype up diverse representation for the sake of hyping it up, even though like the product may not be good, and so we're just reinforcing this negative cycle of bad representation? I don't know. I don't know. I think we need to do a better job of promoting the authentic actual storylines, like not the ones that are box checking, but more so the ones that are actually trying to create real stories for these communities, like whether that be related to your sexuality, religion, race, whatever. We need to promote those stories, promote those independent filmmakers, whatever, and demo the big studios who are just checking boxes. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. And I don't know. It's a thought. It's something to consider, and it might be a thought that's a little ahead of the time. I think a lot of people aren't willing to accept that, but it needs to be discussed at this point. I think I've grown kind of sick and tired of this shit. It's pretty bad at this point. So let's look into that. All right.